Morning guys, Buck with BTM Scale Models here with video 1 of my series build of the AMT 1/1400 scale Enterprise-D molded in clear plastic model kit. Today I'm going to work on cleaning injection mold pins from the inside of the model, as well as sand it down, and hopefully, if the weather holds, we will start doing a primer coat on the outer hull. So let's get to it. Okay guys, welcome back to the bench. We're going to start prep cleanup and hopefully, like I said, get some primer down. I wanted to show you this kit and some things I've already done, and encourage you guys not only to, if you're watching this, but to definitely go to other builder sites. The biggest thing about building a kit is research. Now this is the first time I've ever worked with clear mold plastic, and a site I use frequently to help me be better at my builds is the Model Shop, hosted by Boyd Compton, and he's already built this kit, so I watched some of what he did, and I will be using the techniques he used to help me to light this. And the first thing we're going to do, and I've already done it here on the secondary hull, is these sites where the injection pins were. This kit is just riddled with these parts. Now why you want to do this, you want to clean these out, is to not only help it easier for the lighting purpose, but what Boyd suggested with these clear styrene kits is to actually sand the inside. He found out that the problem with clear kits when you're trying to lighting, if you drill the holes, is a lot of times the light won't distribute throughout the model. You get points of bright, points of dull. So I'm gonna use his suggestion, and I am going to sand it on the inside. So I've already started here on this piece on the neck. As you can see, I used, he suggested 600 grit, but I couldn't find it, so I went with 400 grit. And I just did a nice sanding. Let's see if we can get some more light on this. And I think it's going to turn out well. You won't be able to see that sanding once you paint the primer down and the hull color. But we're going to give it a shot. I mean, that's the great thing about our community, is that everybody does something different. Everybody knows more, knows something different. So, I encourage you guys not only to visit my site, but visit other sites. Boyd's site, the Model Shop, Amazing Scale Modelers, but most definitely check out sci-fi-fantasy.com. There's wonderful modelers on there that post their builds all the time, and if you guys are in a tough spot, hopefully my video or their videos will help you continue to progress on your build and not give up. So as you can see, I've already done some preliminary work on the secondary hull. I've sanded the injection pin sites. So I wanted to show you here on the main saucer what we're looking at. Okay, these buggers all over the kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Dremel, and I have this Dremel. I suggest you guys you pick up this attachment. It makes doing intricate work, sanding, so much easier. But what I'm using is just a rough, the small sanding pad. It's not very coarse, and I just lightly go over until I get it down to where I want that I can do the finish sanding with sandpaper. So let's get to it. Okay guys, I'm going to start sanding these pins down, and I'm going to show you. It's just nice and easy. Don't go too fast, don't try to push too hard or too deep. Just let the tool do the work, small sections at a time. Okay guys, I'm going to finish sanding down these injection sites, and then we'll come back and show you the next step. Stay tuned. Okay guys, I have the top of the saucer section done. Now, to show you, as you can see, I've dremeled all these down. Be very careful when doing these that you don't put too much pressure and try to go through the kit. Just light sanding. You can take the rest down by sandpaper, just enough to get the bulk of it. You know, it's about 1/4 inch, so, or 1/16 of an inch, so you just want to do enough to take it down and use sandpaper for the rest. So like I said, I am using 400 grit sandpaper. Now this sandpaper, you can get it Home Depot. Home Depot's got a lot of great products there, so but that's where I get most of my sandpaper for my finer sanding. I do, you know, by the pads and the pins. But for big work, I like, you know, for the money, for the cost wise, it's great. So what you want to do is you don't want to, again, apply too much pressure. You just want to go in and start roughing it up, just like this. Now, yeah, you know, you're gonna be like, oh, that looks awful, but are you sure? Yes. You know, just nice light sanding. Make sure you get it all frosted. And like I was saying earlier, what this is gonna do is, like Boyd said, the fine scratches is gonna actually pull the light in. It's gonna help diffuse the light more evenly across the kit. But again, you know, you want 400 grit or higher, 600 grit, and you don't want to be rough. You just want to get it nice and frosted. So let's continue. One point I will say, as you can see where these injection sites that I dremeled down, they're going to look a little rough, but the sandpaper will help pull that out, and because you're primering the top and doing all your color, you're not actually doing any painting on the inside. You know, the painting on the outside will help cover up, as you can see, it looks pretty rough, but the primer and the primary hull color and all that will take care of that, and that will never be seen. But the light distribution is going to be great. So as you can see, I'm putting pressure on, not hard, but good pressure, just to get that frosted look. Now, you know, you got areas like this right here by the pin to put them together with. You're gonna have to roll the paper up a little bit, but you know, all in all, this is probably going to be the easiest part of the kit, is actually just doing this sanding down. You know, take your time. Go slow. Try to get it evenly sanded across the entire kit. That'll help with the distribution. So. And I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me sand this whole thing. So I'll get back to you when I get it done. One real quick note though, have a cloth. As you're sanding this, you're going to create, you know, plastic dust and all that. Every once in a while, just take your cloth and wipe it out. Now what it's going to show you is where you still need to sand, and clean it up a little bit so you can see where you're going. Make sure you're getting even throughout the whole kit. Okay, see you soon. Okay guys, so I've gotten all the pins off. Now, just to show you a little trick, you're going to have rough spots. So, something I like to do, and that could help, is, you know, before you sand it, if you need to, what we're going to do is just take a hobby knife, Big old hobby knife. And just slightly scrape off the big melted chunks. Now what happens is when you sand or use a Dremel on the styrene, it not grinds it down more as it melts it sometimes. So you can use your knife just to pluck off the big chunks, make it a little easier to sand. So you get more of it even, because ain't nothing more frustrating than trying to sand and you spend hours trying to sand down this stuff. So just a little tip, as you can see here, bring it up right there. Put my finger in front of it here. As you can see, there's a bunch of just flecks and pieces. Some of it does brush off with your finger, but again, I suggest, you know, to get the higher ridges that, you know, you didn't get with your Dremel tool, because there's nothing worse also than dremeling and then you go through. So my advice to you, when using Dremel to sand pieces on a kit like this, slow, steady, and don't be afraid to stop, take a look at where you're at, slow this, you know, slow it down if you have to. But a good analogy is like when you're seasoning food and cooking, you can always add, but you can never take away. And sometimes, and I've made the mistake, is I get really going in and I'm grinding down, and then all of a sudden I go whoop, right through the kit. Guys, slow and steady. Do not go through the kit. It is like getting your finger slammed in a door, because now you have to fix it. So we're not going to do that. I'm not going to go through this kit and put a hole in it to do that. So I'm going to finish sanding these pieces down underneath the saucer section, the rest of the neck, and not the secondary hull and the back of our neck. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Let's get a picture in here. So this is gonna take me a few minutes, so we'll see ya when I get it done. Okay guys, so now I've got everything sanded, cleaned up. I'm gonna primer the outside, and what I'm gonna do is lay a black base primer down to help with light block. And now normally we do that on the inside, but since we're not doing any light blocking from the inside, we're going to do it on the outside. What I'll do is we'll block it out, paint the outside of the hull, and once that dries, then I will go in with a primer coat, or I might even just start with my main primary hull color. We'll play it by ear, we'll see how it looks. But just to show you guys what's been done is all of the inside has been cleaned up and sanded. Now I didn't sand the outside of this edge because there is no windowing, so we just did the inside. Got the secondary hull done, the neck, and the bottom. So to end this, we're just going to lay our primary coat of primer down, and on the next video we will go with either having to do a gray primer coat, or we'll start with the hull color, the primary hull color. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you at the next update.